Hey girls, today we're looking at point gradient formula. Okay, so today is actually an exercise that's 5.3 content, not 5.2. Alright, so last lesson what did we look at? Alright, changing everything to general formula. Right, general form. Okay, so today we're going to learn how to find the equation of a line if you're given a gradient and a certain coordinate. Okay, so I'm not sure if you've learned this last year, but this is the main focus of the formula for today, okay, and you'll be using that quite extensively in year 11 and 12 if you're doing advanced maths. So this is what's called the point gradient formula, and basically here's how you use it. So if I want to find the equation of a line which goes through that coordinate and has a gradient of -1, okay, so step 1, find the gradient. I don't have to do that because the gradient's given to me, so I can just skip to step 2. From this coordinate, this is x1, y1, okay, so if I want to use that formula, you start with y minus my y1 is 4 equals my gradient is -1 bracket, you write the x minus, my x1 though is -6, so I'm going to write -6. So this is how you set it up. And then let's expand and simplify this. So I've got y minus 4 equals to -1. This is just x plus 6. Okay, minus becomes plus. So that's y minus 4 equals to, expand it out, that's minus x minus 6. Once you've got that down, if you look at the question, they want you to express all equations in general form. So let's do what we did last lesson. So let's bring these two both to the other side. So I have y minus 4. If you bring it to the other side, it becomes plus x. If you bring that to the other side, it becomes plus 6 equals to 0. Let's just simplify that now. So x comes first, remember? And then I've got the y, so in this case it's just plus y. Now I've got -4 plus 6. If you don't know, use a calculator. That's just plus 2. So this would be your final answer, okay? Let's do the same thing with a couple more interesting numbers and fractions. So once again, let's label this x1, y1, and I'm given the gradient, so I can just plug it in there straight away. So y minus that, minus 1/2. Remember, I'm just following that, equals to the gradient, 3 over 4, bracket x minus, my x1 is -4. Yep. Let's simplify that. So this is y plus 1/2 is equal to 3 over 4, x plus 4. Okay, now the easiest way to do this is if you have a fraction in front of the bracket, multiply that denominator to both of the terms on the other side. So this is 4 times y plus 4 times 1/2, that's 2. And that gets rid of the denominator at the bottom. It's just 3 now. And just expand this out now. So 4y plus 2 is equal to 3x plus 12. And just bring everything to one side. So let's bring these two to the other side. So I now got 4y plus 2. This is a plus 3x. If you bring it to the other side, it becomes -3x. Similarly with plus 12 becomes -12. Okay, let's once again rearrange it so it's in that order. So x comes first, so -3x, and the y plus 4y, and then you've got plus 2 and -12. That's -10. Now one more thing though, you can leave your answer like that, but you usually don't want the number in front of x to have a minus. So what you want to do, if you want to get rid of the minus, is change the signs of every single term in your equation. So if I want to have 3x instead of -3x, this plus 4 becomes -4, and this -10 becomes +10, okay? So this is usually what you normally always do. If you have a negative in front of x, change everything else to the opposite sign so you don't have the negative in front of x. I just want to remind you girls, any line that goes this way has a positive gradient, and any line that goes this way has a negative gradient. So the question here is, let's have a look. 4 lines A, B, C, D intersect at P. So I've only drawn 2 of the lines because I just want to start you girls off with this question. So you've got 4 lines intersecting at that point. The gradients A, B, C, D are 1 minus 1/3 minus 4 and 1/5. So what that means, the gradient of 1 is represented by the line A, B, C, and D. Okay, so the question is, question 2b, find the equation of each line. Girls, what you need to know is See how these two are the early two numbers that are positive? So that means from your diagram, so these two lines are the early lines that have positive gradient. Notice how they both go that way, okay? The other two lines, they're lines with negative gradient, okay? So, which one is A and D in this case? The way to tell is, girls, I'll tell you right now, this is the gradient A with gradient of +1, and this is your line D with a gradient of 1/5. The way you tell is, girls, the bigger the number is, the steeper the line. Okay? 1/5 is a small number, it's a fraction. So the smaller the number or the gradient, the less steeper the line. So keep that in mind. Okay? So that's how you tell between the two. So I'll leave these two for you girls to do. So what they want us to do is not, okay, let's start with the blue line, right? We know the coordinate is 3 and -2 because it goes through that. And we know the gradient is 1. Okay? So from this information, do exactly what we've been doing here. Okay? Use the point gradient formula and then find the equation. Okay? So I'll leave that for you girls to try out. I just wanted to give you girls how to explain how to start it. Alright? Same thing with D. So the coordinate is, they're all going to go through this, but the gradient in this case is 1/5. Okay? So notice how in these questions, I'm given a point in the gradient. In this question, they don't give you the gradient, they've just given you 2 points. So in that case, you have to find the gradient yourself by using this formula, which we've done before. So that's your first step. So let's do that. So let's label x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay? So let's find our gradient from here. M is equal to y2 minus y1. That's -4 minus y1, 2, over x2 minus x1, so that's 1 minus x1 minus 10. So if you put all that in the calculator, 11, okay, that's my gradient. Yep. Now, for the second step, let's use that. See how I've got 2 coordinates? You got to pick one of the coordinates to use for that formula. You can pick whichever coordinate you want. But in this case, I'm going to use the second coordinate just because they're just smaller numbers and it just looks easier numbers to work with. But you'll get the same answer with whichever coordinate you pick. So let's pick this one and let's use the gradient. So basically, now use this formula, okay? Which we know how to do. I'll just quickly do it for you here. So once again, my x1, y1 is that, okay? So I'll just quickly do it. So this is y plus 4. And just multiply that across. That becomes 11y plus 44. Let's expand and simplify. This becomes positive 6x. This becomes -6 equals to 0. And once again, let's rewrite this so that x and y comes first. Positive 38. Okay, so that's your answer for question 3G. All right, do the same steps for the rest of the questions for 3. I'd like to just give you girls a guide on question 4, 5, and 8. Okay, just to start you off because it's a different looking problem. It says 2 lines, K and L, intersect at -1 and 4. Okay, so let me just give you a quick diagram on what the question looks like. So they want you to find the equations for line K and L. So as you can see by the diagram, this is exactly the same problem as what I've shown you in the previous side of the board here. Okay, so basically the same thing there. Let's look at K. I'm given the coordinate -1 and 4. I know the gradient -1/2. Find the equation from there. Yep, same thing for L. Okay, I know the coordinate, once again, is -1 and 4. Okay, find the equation for both of them. That's basically what they want you to do, okay? It's just a bit hard to do if you don't see the diagram. You don't have to draw the diagram, I just want to show you what the question meant. Question 5, find the equation of a line with gradient of -4 and x-intercept of 5. Okay, so here's my question. We know the gradient is -4, but what's the coordinate if it says it goes through x-intercept of 5? X-intercept, if it says x-intercept of 5, it means it goes through 5 and 0. That's what x-intercept means, okay? So for example, so in this case, so it means it goes through there. That's where the x-intercept is because that's the point on the x-axis. So the coordinate is 5 and 0, okay? Find the linear equation like we've been doing from there, all right? Question 8, a line with a gradient of minus 3 over 5, all right, with the midpoint of that. Okay, what you need to do is you're given the gradient, but you know how you usually need a coordinate? You need to find that coordinate by finding the midpoint of these two. Okay, so remember how we did that? Midpoint is, if you forgot, this is it. Find the midpoint of these two coordinates by using that formula. Okay, once you've done that, you'll get one coordinate. That's the coordinate that you're supposed to use with that to find the equation of a line. Okay, which you should be able to do. Okay, girls, that should be enough to get you through the rest of the exercise. Give question 1 to 8 a go. 9 and 10, you can try it out, but that's a little extra. All right, you don't have to do 9 and 10, but please make sure to go through question 1 to 8. All right, thanks, guys.